Hello, friends. Gonna be really real with you guys, like I always am, because the reason why I'm always real and I tell the 100% truth. All right, because I believe that not only I'm going through it, but there could be somebody out there else going through this. So even if you're not going through it, please share this video. It's gonna be a long one. Just gonna tell you that right off the bat. Um, It'll be a good one. Past couple days for the past weekend, I had a lot of stuff happen. I had my uncle going to the ER, a lot of work, a lot of schoolwork, just a lot of stress, and I really didn't have time for God. And like I had like when I was going to work, like thank you God, but I didn't really have time. And then there was church. Church was awesome, but like I just felt like I hadn't been spending enough time with God, and I was like almost it was almost like condemnation there. And like I kept getting woken up in the middle of the night, at 4:22 and like 5:05 in the morning, and like just felt like God really wanted me to like stay up and do stuff. And it's like I'm tired. I need to go back to bed. Like I just did not have any time for God. There's a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, and I just felt like God was like, "Dude, you need to do this. You need to spend every waking minute that you have with me, and do all the schoolwork, and do the work, and do all that other stuff, man." So I was like really down, and then I like totally like felt like God wasn't there in the situation. Like I was like not getting any sleep really at all. I signed up. I'm here at my friend's house right now. I'm actually looking after her chickens, ducks, and turkeys and whatnot. And I didn't really realize what I signed up at her house. And even though it's going to be an interesting experience and a fun one, it does take up some more time, at least an hour or two, to take care of these animals. About half an hour in the morning and about hour and a half to 2 hours at night, because I gotta bathe each duck and blow dry each duck. And by the way, did you know ducks have claws? Because I sure the heck didn't. Those suckers hurt. Getting back to the main point here. So I was just like tired and exhausted, and today I woke up and I ran downstairs and took care of the ducks, and say goodbye to my friend, and she was off to do her own little adventure, and now I'm here by myself for real, taking care of her animals. And she doesn't have anything to be worried, babysitting her house and whatnot. And so I ran off to school, right? And I had like 2 tests. And the first one was at 9:30, and it was a sociology test. And I only got like 4 hours of sleep last night, and like it was not good. And even though I could have used the study guide, I'm feeling like I bombed that test. And so I was like, okay, so I got an hour and a half between my sociology class and my math class, which I also got another test in. And so over this wide gamma of all these math problems, and like the square root of like -3/2, and like over like another fraction, just like hard math, like really hard math. And so I was like feeling down about that, and I was like worrying and like getting depressed and getting all worked up and everything, because I was tired and the enemy was coming at me. And just like I literally called up my teacher. I'm like, look, this is what happened. I'm going to have to skip. Like, I'm fearful that even if I don't take the math test, which is like, well, you don't have to take the math test today. And I was like, but then I'm going to get overwhelmed. I was worrying about getting overwhelmed about not getting the new stuff. So I was like, dude, I just can't do it. I'm already about to fall asleep right now. I'm sick to my stomach. I might be coming down with something. I don't know. So I was like just so worked up. And so I left school. I called my English teacher, and he's like, dude, it's going to be a work day. Don't worry about it. You already got done what you need to get done, so relax. And so I came back here, and I was like God, where are you in this situation? I was like, I'm going to go down. I'm just going to rest. And so I laid there for about half an hour or so. Couldn't get to sleep. And so all of a sudden I just got the feeling, my friend has a hot tub. And I just got the feeling like I should go outside and just listen to this one sermon that I bought like a week ago. And I've yet to have time listening to it. And just stare up at the clouds. And God spoke to me in that time so much. It wasn't funny. Right now, it is like super windy out. But it's like 72 degrees. So I jumped in the hot tub. I'm up looking at the clouds. And first thing he shows me is a heart. In the negative space, I see a heart in the cloud. I was like, oh my gosh, God, yes. What else do you want me to discover about you? Like, what else do you want to communicate with me? And then he showed me a pink and a green cloud. I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like there's a rainbow painted in the clouds, because this one cloud was like really thin and then the sun was shining through it. So it was almost like a rainbow. And this cloud started out small. That got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it finally like disappeared. And then for a short while, because it is kind of cloudy out, it's supposed to storm today. It's still nice and sunny out. You know, the dark clouds covered up the sun. And God goes, look. And even in that stormy darkness, there was still light coming through. There was still cracks of light peering through. And God goes, even in the midst of the storm, number one, I control the clouds. I can move them around. But I'm always going to be there shining down on your circumstance. Even if you can't see me, I'm always going to be there. You might catch glimpses of me, or you might catch the full thing, but I'm always going to be down there shining upon you. I got this. Where's your faith? And then I saw some vultures soaring. And a while back ago, I was over here at her house when she was here. And it was real windy and stormy. And I just marveled at how the vultures, they would swoop. And they used the storm's momentum and the wind and everything to actually go higher with very little effort. That they soared on the thermals and like all the wind speed and whatnot with very little effort. And so God showed me that and reminded me about that. And then I jumped on Facebook, and the very first post I see is one by Danny Bryant. He's in a group that I'm in. It's called Prophetic Words and whatnot. And it says, today I want to let somebody know that your greatest victory lies ahead of you. The enemy has reared its ugly head and has tried to convince you that you are on a downward spiral, that you're not going to make it. But today the Father says you're on an upward spiral. And he says to tell you that what he has done for you before, he is about to do again. He says that he shall lift you up above the muck and mire, and he shall set your feet on solid ground. And I hear no weapon formed against you shall prosper. That last bit is from Isaiah 54, which is the very first chapter of the Bible that God highlighted to me when I was still a pre-Christian, still doubting God. And then during the message about where's your faith, it's by Danny. It's by Chris Valentin. It's on ibethel.org or ibethel.tv. It's only $1. It's a really good one. You should probably buy it. He's talking about like even in the midst of the storms, like Jesus told his disciples, get in the boat, we're going to go over to the other side. And then Jesus fell asleep, and the storms came, and they freaked out. And Jesus was like, didn't I already tell you? Like, Jesus got up, like, they woke him up, And he calmed it down, and he's like, dude, didn't I already tell you that we're going to go to the other side? So, like, I already was there in that point in time, and I already saw that we was on the other side. So why aren't you believing me? But anyways, as I was listening to that sermon, God goes, I want you to write out a list about what I say you are. Because I got my faith in you. All of heaven has their faith in you. Hell certainly knows who the hell you are because they're coming up against you. But do you know who you are? Do you know what I say about you? And so I'm going to share my list with you guys. And again, this is just words that I got from the God-man himself. I wrote, who does God say I am? God says I'm his treasure. He says I'm beloved. He says I'm his own little wildfire. He says I'm his reflection. He says I'm a strong warrior. I'm his son. I'm his inheritance. I'm his sparkling gem, and I'm his biggest catch. Let me elaborate on that. God reminded me, when I was doing this, God reminded me of a word that I got a year, maybe 2 years ago, from him, that I used to be a fisherman, and still am, just don't have any time right now to do it. That, like, when you go out on the lake in the water, you want the biggest catch. You want the trophy fish. And God says, you're my biggest catch. You're my trophy fish. So that was my list, and I'm pretty sure if I spent more time with God, he would elaborate a lot more on that list. Because I have a feeling that there's not enough words in the English dictionary that can describe his love and who I am for him and what he thinks about me. So then he goes, alright, you know what I say about you. What does hell say about you? Hell says I'm a threat, that I'm a disease. Meaning I touch people because I got the light in me, they get the light in me. They're threatened by me. They want me dead right now. They don't want this video getting made. For about 20 minutes before I even jumped in the hot tub, they did not want me to listen to the sermon because I had trouble with my speaker right here. So I'm not going to set my computer right next to the hot tub. That's a bad idea. I'd rather lose a $25 speaker than a $800 computer. Here's where it gets interesting. Hell says I'm victorious. Because I asked God, I was like, God, let me hear what hell says about me. Hell says I'm victorious. So even though they know I'll be victorious, so why don't I have enough faith in myself that I'm going to be victorious? They say I'm a mighty warrior. They say I'm the leader of nations / a leader of angel armies. That's pretty powerful right there. And once again, I'm not bragging on, oh, this is, I'm better than it. No, this is what my God's done for me, and I'm sharing it. If you want to hear what God says about you, ask him, and he'll let you know. But I don't really know what the point of this video is, other than just to share with you guys what God's done for me, and that he cares about each and every one of us. And he doesn't want us to walk around feeling condemned or belittled or like we're worthless, because we're not. Because when he created us to be great. He created us to know who we are, that we're sons and daughters. And man, I'm working on this thing just as much as everybody else is. Getting that thing drilled in my head. And I'm getting a lot better at it. Tomorrow will be 4 years ago when I first encountered God in a really bad car accident. April 14, 2011. I was in a bad wreck. And God totally changed my life around 180 degrees. Made me brand new that day. So I would just encourage you guys just to spend time with God today and just hear what He has to say about you. Know that He loves you and He understands. And that His yoke is easy and His burden is light. That's one thing I gotta really believe Him on. So, God bless you guys. Again, if you like this video, if it really spoke to you, please share it.